Good day, I'm Tamara McHale and this is your GIS News for Tuesday, July 8. Government has made a critical step towards allowing persons charged with possession of or smoking small quantities of ganja to have their criminal records expunged or cleared. On Friday, July 4, the Upper House of Parliament approved the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Amendment Act 2014. The act was last reviewed in 1988 and the bill to amend its provisions was piloted in the Senate by Justice Minister Mark Golding, who made it clear the amendment did not provide for automatic expungement.
It establishes a Criminal Records Rehabilitation Board which reviews all applications for expungement, and expungement is discretionary, it is not as of right.
Persons will be able to apply to that board without waiting for any expiration period relating to their sentence. This bill is among government's efforts to effectively regulate marijuana use in Jamaica, while ensuring that citizens are not excessively penalized for minor offenses. Government's ultimate aim is to make the possession of small quantities of ganja for personal use a ticketable offense that will not attract a criminal record. The Agriculture Ministry is pushing forward with plans for the full rollout of its 9 agro-parks across the island by 2015. 4 of 5 contracts valued at over $500 million were recently signed to facilitate infrastructure works on 3 of the agro-parks over the next 12 months. The projects are being carried out under the Ministry's Agricultural Competitiveness Program, which is funded by the Inter-American Development Bank (IDB). The work involves the construction of stormwater channels and access roads at Spring Plain, Ebony Park in Clarendon, New Forest Duff House in Manchester, and Yallas in St. Thomas. A packaging facility is also to be constructed at New Forest Duff House, while irrigation pipes and fittings are to be installed at Spring Plain, Ebony Park.
Our work in the agri-parks is not just about the provision of infrastructure, it is about increasing agricultural production and marketing.
Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce Anthony Hilton is asserting that wider and affordable access to telecommunication services will allow businesses to compete in the domestic and international markets more effectively.
Competitiveness in the international economy is dependent to a large extent on the deployment of innovative communication solutions, which in turn will be dependent on continuous network modernization or development in the sector.
He says this is why government has been working to improve the efficiency of the telecommunications sector. Measures include the Jamaica Internet Exchange Point IXP, which is to be implemented by the end of this month, allowing local internet service providers to connect their networks and exchange traffic locally at a reduced cost. The minister was speaking at the recent launch of Columbus Business Solutions hosted PBX product, a new cloud-based communication solution. The Trinityville Health Center in St. Thomas has been refurbished and officially reopened following damage to the building by Hurricane Sandy 2 years ago. The National Health Fund provided $3.5 million in funding to replace the roof, tile the floors and paint the walls. Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson says projects such as this one support the Vision 2030 national health goals.
When we have improvement in the health sector, we have improvement in the productivity of our citizens. When we have improvement in the productivity of our citizens, it means that we are on our way to world-class development.
Dr. Ferguson says the reopening of the Type 2 Center will ease the burden placed on other institutions that filled the gap during its closure. Residents of Central Village and surrounding communities in St. Catherine are now benefiting from the construction of a new multipurpose center. The work was completed in May under the Jamaica Social Investment Fund's Inner City Basic Services project, and it will be managed by the Red Cross. It boasts a multipurpose court, main hall, commercial or workshop spaces, office and kitchen, among other features. On land provided by the Jamaica Red Cross, the facility was built with $115.8 million in financing from the World Bank and $6.1 million from residents.
Many times we came here and we spoke about the social responsibility of the community itself to make these things happen. We'd like to congratulate, not us, not Joseph and others, but the people of the Central Village for making this happen.
And finally, government continues to support measures aimed at reducing harmful emissions in the environment and encouraging cleaner and more efficient use of fuel. A year since the launch of Petrojam's ultra-low sulfur diesel, private sector company Rubis is following suit. The new petrol line, Ultratech, embraces government's objective to lower exhaust emissions and support a more fuel-efficient auto fleet. Pointing out that oil import costs the country $2.25 billion a year, Energy State Minister Julian Robertson says this product is consistent with the government's goal to cut back on oil consumption.
Anything which allows us to cut back on the consumption of oil, anything which allows us to reduce the harmful emissions is consistent and are consistent with our own goals.
And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thank you for watching.